All right, welcome to this live session for the part-time live traders. Actually, as part-time traders, we concentrate from the daily to the monthly time frames. This is NFP week, and for the very first time after a very long time, we are seeing price action very nicely for an entire week. Usually, price tends to go slow, tends to crawl within NFP weeks. Okay, all right, so let's just look into a few pairs. We have a lot of market confusion going on, but before we do that, let me very quickly look into the Forex Factory economical calendar, where it starts. Okay, let's just see what has been going on here for tomorrow being Friday. Okay, we are having the NFP, okay, the non-farm employment change and the unemployment rate. These are heavy-duty news announcements that spiked the market in heavy volume. All right, very heavy volume. Actually, I am going to be doing a live session. I like the timing, 2:30 p.m. my local time here. I like the timing a lot, so we are going to be trading this news event live tomorrow. Okay, we'll be up in the market trading this news event live. Okay, all right, so like I said, there's a lot of confusion going on in the chart, so let's take on the chart one after the other, beginning with the New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. This is the daily time frame. We took a trade here yesterday. Okay, and right now that trade is sitting in some small loss. Okay, anyway, we are not shaking. The trade plan is still intact. You have to bear in mind that you nailed, all right, we nailed this trade at an optimal area. You nailed this trade at an optimal area. It will be difficult, if not impossible, for price to keep pushing to the upside straight on. What is expected is price coming back down at least to somewhere in here before we can see another push to the upside. Let's just look into the weekly time frame. Let me tell you why this is an optimal area that we have nailed this trade. The weekly time frame here. Okay, now in the weekly time frame, it is very obvious that we are experiencing, or we are in the formation of a flat bottom triangle. Okay, it is very obvious, and if this level is going to act as resistance, just like we have seen that rejection candle as of last week, if this level is going to act as resistance, then nailing the trade right here is at an optimal area. Okay, you nailed the trade at the higher probability zone. There is no need to chicken out of this trade. Give it some time. If not this week, then next week. Remember, we took this trade before. Our intention was to keep the trade for the entire month, but we closed the trade along the line. Right now, we have gotten back in, so we are going to keep this trade running. Okay. All right. In the daily time frame, what do we expect? Like I said, price is very likely going to turn around any moment soon to the downside in the New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. What we saw today is just the completion of this bounce. The bounce right there, usually it's pushed to the upside for 2 days. 2 days, okay, and we have now settled those 2 days. The next move is very likely going to be to the downside. Let me show you something in the 4 hours time frame. We should also give you the hint that this trade was taken at a high probability zone. look at this. Let's look at these harmonic bounces. Just connect these lines. Let's connect those lines. I'm going to keep a line here. Okay, I was actually watching price movement here. I was watching price movement around this area, watching to see if that level will be respected at all. And actually, we got price respecting that level as resistance. Okay, so if this area is resistance, and let's assume we are anticipating a channel formation where we have the first push to the downside, the second to retest that area, confirming the upper channel leg, then we are very likely to have a possible second push to the downside before a bounce or a continuation move, just to confirm the lower leg of that channel. So if price is actually going to bounce off that level to come back down, confirming the lower leg of this channel, then we have all of this area to make our profit. Okay, we have all of that to make our profit. So let's give this trade some time. Don't be in a hurry. We are aware that we made some price was in some profit. We didn't close that trade. Most of you would have been angry with yourself right now why you didn't close that trade around in here. Well, that is not how we intend to trade this. We intend to keep this according to the trade plan. Okay, assuming you took the trade somewhere here. Let's assume price spiked up. You took the trade there. It brought you into some nice profit here. Then suddenly started pushing to the upside, just like we are seeing right now. Then eventually it crashed back down. Or even in this case where you have price coming back down all the way here, that's a huge profit. It doesn't move in a straight line, so you should expect moving into loss, coming back into profit, into loss, then eventually into your direction or against you. So let's give this trade some time. Like I said, price is likely to come back down. All right, the sterling pound against the Swiss franc. This is a pair where this is one of those pairs with lots of confusion. In fact, we took a trade here as well based on the bounce that we saw in the daily time frame. You can see the much rejection, another rejection of those areas, and you see that actually this was the pattern. Let's find out why price is having hard time pushing to the upside. Actually, that was the original pattern where price was finding that area as resistance. You can see that for 3 times as what? Resistance. And the price was finding the lower leg, the lower boundary right there, as support. Okay, that area as support. Price tested that level multiple times. Actually, this type of channel formation tends to break to the downside. It's an early hint that price will be pushing to the downside, but the breakout of that channel didn't really happen in good momentum. You can see the type of candles that we have gotten for the past 5 days. Pin bars upon pin bar. This is a pin bar, this is a spinning top, pin bar, another pin bar. So our trade here was finding much of troubles because this level that was acting as support was acting as resistance against us. Okay, so that was the idea there, where we didn't really take that level seriously. We thought price would just spike to the upside for us to make some profit. Well, we are cashed out. Our first profit target was hit, where we cashed out 50% of our profit. Then the remaining 50% was hit at a break-even position. No loss was made. It was a crash. It was not really a bad trade, as 50% was hit at 50% of profit was cashed out at the first target. Okay. Well, right now like I said, there is much of confusion going on here. Pin bar upon pin bar. The last two candles here are pin bars in opposite direction. So the bulls were able to resist price. Sorry, to resist price. Drove price all the way here, giving us this pin bar right there. Then the bears were able to drive to this candle all the way back down right there. That means tomorrow the bears might still be very ready to keep driving price to the downside. So there is a constant fight between the bears and the bulls. There is a constant fight. Excuse me. So this is some form of market confusion here, very terrible one. The best course of action here is to avoid it. From what we are seeing here, the possible direction for the sterling pounds against the Swiss franc is to the downside. More so that in the weekly time frame, remember we had this powerful pin bar there in the weekly time frame, but because it happened again against that daily level of support, it became difficult for price to push to the downside. Eventually, that was the range we were talking about previously in the daily time frame, as this area here was holding price as support and this one as a resistance. Well, 4 days are already gone. Monday to Thursday is gone. Just Friday. Are you sure? Friday alone will be able to drive price to the downside with that pin bar. Well, that will be totally strange for us to get that momentum bar for just 1 day push up to this area. Well, anything can happen, but I think the fate of this pin bar is very slim at the moment. Okay, right. So in the daily time frame, let us readjust our line. Let's keep this area our support. Let's keep this area support. Then this one as our level of resistance. If price breaks below this level of support, then we'll be looking for a continuation push for price to push to the downside. Okay. All right. So that is it. Lots of confusion. Let's see the euro against the sterling pound. Well, we took a trade here today and scored a loss in the intraday time frame because of that same market confusion. You can see yesterday's candle was a pin bar. Today's candle is another pin bar. That is the much market confusion I am talking about in the forex chart. Pin bar against pin bar. Okay. If this closes just the way it is, which I am sure it's going to close the way it is, price is likely to push up. Okay, it's likely to push up, but the probability is so slim. This is so much market confusion here. For me, the directional bias is not really clear. Anything can happen at that junction of the chart, but for the fight of today, the bulls were able to drive price to the upside. It is very likely that they will be able to keep pushing price to the upside by tomorrow. So if you're trading here, be careful. Price is really mixed. Okay. All right. So that is it. Let's see the next pair: the Australian dollar against the American dollar. Same market confusion in the daily time frame. You see that pin bar upon pin bar. Market confusion. It is difficult to trade in this type of market condition, although we actually wanted to take a trade in the forward time frame. It was the range trading approach. In fact, where we got that level there, holding price as support right here. We're actually discussing this to go long. Actually, we would have made some profit. We would have made some nice profit there, over 30 pips. Also, we got this level here, this one here, coming around that area as confluence. That is where we would have clicked on our buy button, but with the NFP tomorrow, market is so uncertain for the American dollar crosses, so we just try to avoid getting involved in with this trade. Okay. All right, so daily time frame, market confusion, pin bar upon pin bar. Avoid this pair. Wait for tomorrow NFP before you want to trade. The Australian dollar against the Japanese yen, the same thing. Pin bar upon pin bar, market confusion. You can see that. In fact, for the entire week, for the whole of this week, it's been pin bar upon pin bar. For me, this one here, the directional bias looks good to the upside. It seems price is going to push to the upside, but we are having this whole area as a range. Let's see the 4 hours time frame. I think it's more clear. 4 hours time frame. All right, now you can see the range, choppy market condition. Look at that, sideways price behavior. That is it. It's a bad one, but price is trading around that area of support. Is likely to keep pushing to the upside. There is nothing valid for us to trade, and we really do not want to trade in this type of market confusion. We really do not want to trade. If you are very willing to trade here, then be looking for long opportunities in the Australian dollar against the Japanese yen. All right, the New Zealand dollar against the Swiss franc. Again, market confusion. You can see that more hesitation around that zone. Just try to avoid this type of market. The directional bias is not clear enough. This is support. This is a support zone. You really do not want to go short against that level of support. Like I said earlier, we were waiting for price to retrace up to that zone. From there on, we'll be looking for short entries, but the pullback fell shy. It ended around here before price, the bears were able to bring price back down. Okay, so nothing for us to trade here as part-time traders. Let's see the next one. Sterling pounds against the New Zealand dollar. Another market confusion here. Pin bars upon a pin bar. You can see that daily time frame. This line has been acting as a resistance. Retested today. See what we got. Okay. Yesterday we got what? Another pin bar right here. So 2 pin bars. Constant fight between the bulls and the bears. This is another sign of market confusion. Well, it looks like a price will be, the bears will be able to drive price to the downside, but again, this is a thorough, severe market confusion. We don't really want to get involved with this. All right, finally, the euro against the American dollar. Well, in the monthly time frame, I think we had analyzed this several times. Price is heading to retest that level right there, the 1.2742 area. That is where price is heading to retest. I don't think anything will be able to stop price hitting that level. That level is very, very likely to be hit. Okay, so stay bullish on the euro against the American dollar. I am sure NFP will be able to bounce off that level back down. Of course, we'll be trading this live by tomorrow during the non-farm payroll announcement. All right, so that is it. Nothing much here. Price has just been a bit volatile. Ranges are still very much in the market. So many ranges. We need price to break out of those ranges and begin to trend for us to find valid trading opportunities. Okay. If you have questions or contributions, please feel absolutely free to ask them in the Telegram group. Unfortunately, the website is down for now. We are still conducting some upgrade. You need to be patient with that. Once the website is up, I am sure everything will be happening in the website. For now, we will be using our YouTube channel for the live stream. Okay, thanks for watching. We'll be talking during the NFP live trading session. Bye for now.